Welcome to the FC podcast. My name is Stuart Taylor. When I was a child, I remember my mum creating a quilt. That's a pattern blanket for those who may not know. She spent months collecting pieces of old material and cutting them into smaller squares. As the collection grew, she began arranging them into a larger pattern. Slowly and surely, she pieced together each square. Different in colour and feel, the quilt began to take shape. This process made no sense to me at the start. I couldn't see what she was trying to create. But as time went on, it finally clicked that all these small pieces of material were coming together in patterns of fabric to create a beautiful piece of art that would become a quilt. I love that quilt and still can feel the warmth that it brought me as a child. I find it interesting that quilts are often designed to tell a story or to commemorate a special moment in time. Well, what has this story got to do with the FC podcast? Well, that concept is the foundation. As you will listen, you will notice that there is not one standard template or structure. In some episodes, I will speak to former athletes, leaders, or people who have achieved something significant. Other times, I will explore themes of a book that I believe will add value to your life. I will speak to future champions or spend a whole episode exploring a single word. I will dive into significant moments or sometimes less significant moments that have a more significant value. What I'm doing in this episode is exactly what my mother did many years ago. Each idea in each episode is like a little piece of fabric that I have found and seen value. I'm collecting these ideas, shaping them and connecting them together. They may not appear to have a connection initially, but when you put these ideas, ideals and concepts together, you have something more complete, more valuable. My hope is that when you put them all together, it will help you in your journey of striving for better. My father was a quilt maker as well. Not a fabric quilt maker, he was a storyteller. He would collect and develop stories and share them with his children and now grandchildren. Now that I'm older and I look back on those years, I understand that those collection of stories developed my values as a man. Each story was different. To be fair, I'm not even sure if some of them were entirely, let's say, accurate, but they had a theme or a concept that I could apply to my life and my journey. So this is my collection of stories. Like my father and like my mother, the FC podcast is my collection of stories and ideas. So welcome to the FC podcast, the place where I hope to make a quilt, and I hope you can join me. The focus is sport, but the goal is better people. If you think you have a piece of fabric, a story, a message, a theme that will add value to someone's life, then reach out. Because the truth is every piece of fabric has value. Your story counts. My name is Stuart Taylor. This is the FC podcast. Let's change the world. Someone has to. Why not you?